Hello everybody, it's Philippa Ballette here from Chris and Philly Functional Medicine. I am super passionate about working with burnt out mamas and business owners and parents who are really struggling with energy, mood and gut issues. And a lot of these issues do come from trying to juggle it all and from bucket loads of stress. And now more than ever, there is a lot of stress with this pandemic. So I actually wanted to do a video today about some interesting research that I came across in regards to COVID-19 and symptom severity, and also the research links it to leaky gut. And I really wanted to share this with you because I know many of our clients, most who are mums who want the best for their families and for themselves, are constantly asking us about the best ways to protect themselves during the pandemic. And anyway, the big news is, based on this new research that I've come across, is that chronic diseases like diabetes and heart disease and cancer, they're not actually the only conditions putting people at high risk for COVID-19. So new research has come out linking leaky gut or intestinal permeability and dysbiosis, so that's where your microbiome and your good bugs and your bad bugs go a little bit spastic or imbalanced. So the research has linked leaky gut and dysbiosis with COVID-19 severity. So in my functional medicine world, leaky gut and dysbiosis isn't a new thing at all, but there are still many gastroenterologists and medical doctors out there who continue to be really skeptical when it comes to leaky gut and dysbiosis and them causing big health issues. There's also a bunch of amazing medical doctors who are very open-minded and who get and believe all this stuff too. So what I'm really excited to see is that we have now scientific evidence in a very well-known medical journal. So the research came from the American Society of Microbiology journal, and the research was supporting the hypothesis that leaky gut can lead to some pretty serious health issues, including multi-organ complications as a result of COVID-19 infection. So the research paper, which was titled "Do Altered Gut Microbiota and an Associated Leaky Gut Affect COVID Severities?" So this research article showed that leaky gut may be one of the biggest mechanisms for severe COVID due to the infiltration into the circulation. I know that's a lot of big words, but I'll link the research article here so you can have a read of it too if you want to. But basically that's saying that the virus can leak through the gut lining to the bloodstream. I'll talk a bit more about that in a seckie. But what the research article also said is that this can increase the binding of ACE2, which is a coronavirus thing, which creates the uncontrollable inflammatory response that many of us call the cytokine storm. You might have heard that term being thrown around when you've heard about coronavirus and the severity of symptoms. So according to the research, the virus starts in the lungs and then it progresses to the GI tract, so down to the gut. And from there, it should be eliminated via the colon through your poo. And if the infected person has leaky gut, so that's where the gut lining actually starts to separate, the virus can actually leak through. So instead of it eliminating through your butthole, the virus can actually leak through the gut wall and pose considerable threat to other organs, because now it's in the bloodstream, it can travel where it can actually travel to wherever it wants to go. So the virus can actually travel to other organs like the brain, the heart, the kidneys, and the liver, and the mitochondria. The article also suggests that leaky gut could be the reason why non-high-risk people, so these are people without, a diagnosed high-risk disease like cancer or diabetes. So the research suggests that leaky gut might be the reason behind why these non-high-risk people are actually falling very ill with COVID-19 in the first place. I've actually included a blog or I've written a blog about to do with this video too, and in that I've included models so you can actually see this whole progression of the disease if you're that way inclined. the interesting thing is that leaky gut and dysbiosis are often underlying imbalances in people with chronic diseases anyway. And there are many people, and I'm talking about many, and I know because I've literally analyzed and looked at thousands of functional medicine lab tests. So there are many people with leaky gut and also significant microbiome imbalances that are not necessarily chronically ill, or at least not yet, that they don't have a diagnosed disease from medical standards. So it's kind of, I guess, scary thing is that there's a lot of people walking around without, being tagged as high risk, yet they actually are. If they have leaky gut or a very screwed up microbiome, it puts you or people who have these functional imbalances at a high risk of actually becoming severely infected by coronavirus. So the point of my article today is that you can actually prevent, and the research actually even suggests, so this article suggests that you can treat COVID-19 severity by addressing gut health. So that's super exciting. Now, of course, go to the hospital if you're experiencing really bad symptoms. That is, do that. But I feel like there's a lot that you can do to prevent even getting sick in the first place. So, and that is really by treating the root cause as to why so many people are coming down quite ill with COVID-19 in the first place. So I haven't personally been infected by COVID-19, and I know that the common flu is very different to COVID, but I can definitely testify to the immune system improving when we heal the gut. So after I had my babies, I really struggled big time with low immunity. Prior to that, immune system was pretty good. But after kids, I was catching colds and flus and infections literally every 2 to 4 weeks. I'd get over one infection and then I'd come down with another a few days later. But after I did deep healing work of my gut, and not just dietary work, but big deep healing, getting rid of pathogens, restoring beneficial bacteria, strengthening up the gut lining, as well as addressing the root cause of my poor gut health in the first place, which really came back to a lot of stress and adrenal fatigue and other stuff that happened in the past. So after I did all that, my immune system has never been better. I can literally suck my sick kid's snot and not get sick myself. That was, to me, that is a miracle that can happen. I don't suck my kid's snot on purpose, by the way. That's just kind of gross. But, kids, if you're a mom or a dad, kids always stick their snotty hands and noses all over your face and you kind of just ingest it anyway. So I would like you to invite you to take an active role in your own prevention. So I guess there's two ways that you can go. You can either live in fear. Would you rather live in fear of what might happen in the future? Would you rather just wait to get infected or rely on the jab to keep you safe, or even just be indifferent around the whole thing? Or would you rather take control and action over the pandemic situation and actively work on your own health and immune system and that of your families? So I was actually chatting to one of our health nut clients in New South Wales the other day. This woman is my idol. She's awesome. If she listens to this video, she will know who I am talking about. And she said rather than getting stressed and worked up about what may or may not happen around COVID, she's living in New South Wales, so it's pretty big there at the moment. Rather than getting stressed out about all of that and worrying about what might happen in the future, she is instead focusing her energy on preparing her body for whatever is to come, whether that be, that she gets vaccinated, or whether that means getting coronavirus, or maybe even living unvaccinated if that becomes a possibility for her. And I just loved her words of wisdom. So rather than worrying and getting stressed and overthinking everything, take control of your own body right now and improve your immune system, improve your gut health, and give yourself the best chance to thrive regardless of whatever comes your way. So I wanted to leave you with a couple of things that you can do right now to work on your immune system. Now, natural healing isn't just something that is cute and trendy. It can literally make the difference between life and death, and we see that now. So you really want to protect yourself against the virus or just any other microbial infection that can really damage your health. So if you want to protect yourself against microbes, bad ones, start working on your gut. So in my clinic, I'm a big fan of helping our people restore their microbiome, because a healthy microbiome will naturally heal up leaky gut and keep the gut lining really strong, and your immune system is all part of that. So you can start very simply by increasing fiber in your food. So that's a lot of your fermentable carbohydrates, legumes, roughage type vegetables, nuts and seeds. Or you can also, as well as doing all that, take a really good prebiotic, which will be superfood for your good bugs, and they'll feed up your good bugs and transform your microbiome over time. Adding in probiotics with butyrate producers, or actually supplementing with a new type of probiotic, butyric acid, which I just love, by the way, can also be really beneficial. So if you don't know what butyrate is, it's basically the metabolic byproduct that certain good bacteria produce. It's so amazing for your health. It's super anti-inflammatory, and it really heals up the gut lining and keeps that strong. So these two treatments are actually mentioned in the research article. The article also mentions fecal microbiota transplantation for severely infected individuals. Not a lot of us have access to that. It's only it's quite a new thing. I wouldn't advise going to eat someone else's poo. You kind of want to be under medical specialist care for that. So many people, I know, I get it. Many people are just confused about where even to start, or maybe even those simple suggestions about eating more fiber doesn't feel like it might be enough. You might even be thinking, is leaky gut something I have, or is it something I should be worried about? So my answer to that would always be get tested, because you just don't know. Not even I would know. Even if I took your whole health history, put all the pieces together, we still need to test to really confirm if that's an issue. So stop guessing, and let's actually discover where your imbalances are that could be affecting your immune system and putting you at risk of infections. And if you'd like to deep dive into this topic a bit more, as well as discover other ways that you can support yourself through COVID, I'd love to invite you to join our new Ending Burnout live web class. This is our new pandemic edition, because we realize there's so many people out there being affected by this pandemic in so many different ways, and we want to really tackle that from the immune system point of view, from a stress point of view, from detoxification point of view, from how to keep sane during this crazy time. So I'll pop that link down, and if you would like to join, that would be awesome.